Now you're seeing a whole variety of shelters being built, subject to the environment and the resources you have available. There's a huge amount of options, to choose from. But one of the things we need to consider is the enhancement of our clothing system, or the consideration of the clothing system as part of the shelter, and possibly just the only shelter we have. So whilst I challenge myself to have sort of good clothing suitable for the environment and activity I'm in, there is ways we can supplement that with natural resources. And I'm in this beautiful deciduous forest in late fall up in the state of Maine in America just now, and you see this incredible amount of leaf litter all around, which is fantastic. Now I'm going to be using these leaves in my shelter, in my insulation, in my bedding, but I can also use it in my clothing should I choose to, and realistically I can't see a reason why I wouldn't. So what I'm basically thinking about is taking, armfuls of leaves and stuffing it down into my clothing to add extra insulation or the ability to trap air. And normally this would be in the extreme cold or just before I'm sort of going to bed at night, because I obviously don't want to overheat. Now just one point I want to make is the selection of leaves is potentially quite important. We had a lot of precipitation overnight, and what I'm finding on this trail just in front of me, where the leaves are sort of exposed to the elements, they really are quite damp. Now whilst they will trap some air, obviously introducing moisture to my clothing system is exceptionally undesirable. Whereas if I just kind of go back here, just slightly under the cover of these trees, I find that these leaves are much drier. If I get down to the ground, they're a little damp, but the surface layer is very dry. And those are the sort of ones I want to be gathering. Now this is where I love my sort of smock combination with my belt, because what that means is I can shove handfuls of leaves inside my clothing and they're really not going anywhere. Now obviously I get it in and I can spread that all around my torso and I'm good to go. If I've got sort of over trousers or something, exactly the same. I tuck those over trousers into my boots, start filling those with leaves, and I kind of get this great Michelin Man effect, which is incredibly effective to the extent, if I did that and just had a tarp, and if I'm really lucky a fire, that's going to take me out overnight to some really quite cool temperatures without a problem. So again, it's this ability to identify the resource and the best use for it, but also be creative and imaginative. So that's the introduction to supplementing our clothing system with natural resources. And there's some other examples as I'm in different environments, I'll be showing and sharing you those as well.